Welcome back, everyone, for the next part of Limbus Company. In the last part, I got a little bit sidetracked. I'm really sorry about that. But after encountering that guy, I just had to include that. I mean, come on. He was so strong. He was so randomly strong. I needed to uptie everyone. I had to make a part about it. I just had to, right? And right after that, we had an encounter with Death itself, which actually turns out to be a color. It's not dead, it's a color. Who was so kind enough to scare away the big brother and pretty much save our life. So, without any further ado, let's meet the old geezer. Blue ember flickered from the old man's cigar. He didn't need anyone to tell us that he was overwhelmingly powerful. We knew instinctively. Faust, who seemed to recognize the old man, led him to Virgilus after a quick exchange of pleasantries. They know each other? At the very least, it seems like Faust knows him, which is already very reassuring. We didn't see any of that though. We're already back, Virgilus! We almost died, my friend! This was unexpected of you, Faust. For you, of all sinners, to be the one to bring aboard a big shot to our humble abode. Tch, do you have any idea how many times that prick killed us? The least you could do is... Yes, that reminds me. I guess I'll have to reopen my personal constellation hours for a certain kleptomaniac Heathcliff among us. It's just like that, he's quiet. Oh god, Heathcliff. Seriously, you messed up big time back there. Virgilus is obviously discontent at the involvement of an outsider. Didn't seem to bother Faust. I consider him indispensable to the completion of this mission. And why is that? Because I'm the only one who can hunt that pallid whale. Of course you are. The Indigo Elder. Indigo? He is a color? Does that mean to say that I, at this very moment, am sharing the space with not one, but two color fixer? Oh, Don! I heard that you were wandering the Great Lake to hunt its whales. And last I heard, she hunted one of the 5 calamities, the all-impaling marlin whale. The old man grunted. It was neither a confirmation nor a denial, but that was the way the old man was. Everyone understood that. All circumstances evidence suggests that the gold barrow was devoured by the whale, stranded at the Great Lake. Yes, that very same pallid whale of the 5 calamities, normally observed in the outskirts. Of course. That's how these things always tend to flow, huh? We've wasted much time, so I'll be blunt. I wish to hunt the pallid whale. Yes, and time's all we have. Moreover, we know where the whale is heading, and I'm certain that you have spent a significant amount of time observing and learning that whale to hunt it. Did he? I mean, she should know. I mean, she already hunted it before, right? Yeah, I've got a plan. And I'll do anything to make it work, even if you want me there only as a bait. And this is how we'll do it. Okay? The crowd fell silent when Ishmael finished explaining her plan. You're mad! All that thrashing finally sent you off the deep end, huh? I'm just going there for my mission, and the Golden Barrow just happened to be in the same direction. I leave it up to you. Well, to the manager, since their decision matters the most. This company, me, we both just try to find a way to reach our goal. That's all this is. What did she say? Besides, does anyone have any better idea? No, I just can't agree to that. We're making a mistake by even entertaining that Barney idea. Which idea? I must ask you one last thing. Will you join us to fish, Red? The Indigo Elder suddenly broke his silence with a question. Oh, is he? I mean, it would certainly be very helpful. I'm not experienced or particularly skilled at hunting marine life, but I have other, more important concerns that prevent me from joining. So no, unless the worst comes to pass, I will not take part. Wow. Wow! Another color is going to help us, but Virgilus sits another one out, huh? The old man rose from his seat and walked off as though he was about to leave. Wait a moment! We don't need a guide. With a proper plan, we are more than capable of completing this mission. To give up so quickly is... I never said I am. This loud, screaming ship won't do in our hunt for the pallid whale. Wait, screaming? I didn't think the Mephistopheles was that loud. To hunt it, the boat must remain near and converge. A narrow and sturdy boat is what we need. Huh? So all you need to hear was that Virgilus wasn't going to help out. Why? Right, this could go much smoother if Virgil was with us, right? We can prepare a boat that fits your specification, should you request it. That's alright. I'll sail on my own skiff. Wait, that old dingy? That whale would split it in two with a light wag of its tail. No, that skiff. It may not look like much, but it's extremely durable. I see that X-Cop alloy has been used in its construction. That could not have been an easy ingredient to come by. X-Cop? Another benefit for having a color bestowed upon D then? Oh, I've heard tales of... Safari the most talkative person. Instead of entertaining that vomit of questions, he approached me. Huh? I noticed it in an earlier scuffle. That clock seems to have been you and your crew's lifeline. I know not how it works, but I presume it is a singularity of sorts. It will not work against the whale. So start now. Get used to the idea that not everything can be brought back. Why? Why did you accept even after Virgilus opted out? It was a question I've been unable to let go. Dante asked why you accepted our request, even after Virgilus opted out of it. You asked the wrong question. I would have denied your request had Red agreed to take part. Let's say that Red joined us. We would together battle the whale in a long and atrocious struggle. In the end, the whale would surely go down, taking one of us with it. That is why I have opted out if Red chooses to join us. Huh? Because the hunt would no longer be mine. Whatever does that mean? The intention eludes me. I mean that I would not be able to test the limit. Oh, you want to test your own strength, but with his help? That kind of defeats the point because it becomes too easy? Is that the reason? Huh. The limits? What are you even talking about? Look, to hunt that whale, we have to prepare with everything we have and... Out of fear, humans drew borders, even to the outskirts, that lied beyond the city's limits. Beyond it are stars that lie beyond the edge of understanding, beyond even the concept of fear itself. I am but a fisherman, seeking to cross the borders and challenge that very understanding. Are you talking about what lies beyond the outskirts? Its outreaches? That whale devours everything. It brings nothing but calamity. How could you... Ah, so you have prayed once, sailor. Countless lakes here are also devoured. Summon calamities. If you find yourself at a crossroad, if you find that your life is worth nothing in the face of what lies before you, recall this conversation. I'm no good with advisors. Never was. Still, I thought I'd part a few words. As a fellow seafarer, suppose I felt a bit of kinship. As per the old man's direction, we rowed in the skiff, prepared on the Mephistopheles. I saw Ishmael, moments before boarding the skiff on the Mephistopheles. this was Ishmael's plan, but I had no idea of knowing what she was really thinking. I had an inkling, yes, and so far I've been going along with those vague guesses that led to disaster. So I had to ask her myself, Ishmael, what do you really want? What I really want? Okay. Is that a heart? Oh. I see another vision of Ishmael. She was, hiding it well from the other sinners and virtuous, but I could clearly see what she really wanted. Her true desires. Ripping out some guts? Ishmael, you... She was lifting a body from the waters. A body that was torn asunder. Shattered bones, strips of muscle, tissue, flesh. Ishmael trembled with elation before what looks like the captain's mutilated corpse. What? Come on, let's get going. I'm not going to talk about that! I just saw a picture! Oh god! Okay, fine. Yeah, I guess we don't really have to talk about it. I kind of wish we would talk about this, but I guess we don't really have to. What is this? Is this a completely black lake? With some kind of... Are those islands or just droplets? Either way! Oh, never mind. I guess it's rocks. Has to be rocks then. Now then. We row towards the Grey Lake as we previously discussed with the Indigo Elder. We can see some rocks poking out of the pale, opaque water of the lake. Looks like we have to maneuver our way between them. Okay, let's do this. First, let's go back to the Ego team. And then I need to change that all up again, because this is completely wrong. And I guess everyone else that isn't partaking is going to change into their Blade Lineage Spawn suits. Because I do really appreciate all the boosts that we can get. So, okay, that's pretty much all of them. We are currently lacking 4 boosts, but there's nothing I can do about it after all. This is our Ego team. We're not going to change out of our Ego team. Now then, everything's ready. Everything's ready. And then, let us go. Oh god! That doesn't look good at all. Do we really have to explore this sea? This part of the sea? As we discussed earlier, we took a different route from the Indigo Elder. We were to first arrive at a separate destination for our plan. Something is floating over there. Not long after we crossed the line where the lake's water turned dark grey, we noticed something pale peeking out from the lake. Are those islands? There are a lot of them. They may be reefs. Perhaps that is this lake's challenge? To navigate it while avoiding those with the best of our abilities. Well, they surely do look rocky, but they're just too big to be called reefs, right? Do you sense something, Dante? We may attempt to discover a path that does not lead into an area cluttered with such obstacles. Yet that would require us to hazard a path unknown. It may lead to this plan's ruin. If you can sense even the most general direction of the Golden Burrow, please relay it to me. I can use it to approximate its location. I can assure you a degree of accuracy, now that we have with us additional data provided by the Indigo Elder. Huh? Why couldn't you just spin our magical compass to begin with, Clockface? Come on! They are able to do this only under the peculiar conditions of the Great Lake, which has very few in the way of obstacles. The urban areas of the city are dense with structures, both high and low. And in the underground, the higher population density also complicates matters. Considering that Dante can detect the Golden Burrow only in close proximity, considering that there may be insurmountable obstacles in our way, their sense will not be of much help there. So, So they are back to being just the usual clock face anywhere else. So that is why I could feel the golden burrow here, even when it was so far away. I raised my finger and pointed toward the general direction of this vague feeling. Confirmed. We will turn the ship around in that direction. Ishmael wordlessly steered the ship according to Faust's words. We grew ever nearer to the islands or the reefs. A heavy silence descended upon the sinners. Oh, until Ishmael gasped with a sudden realization. It's this lake. There was an incomprehensible look on Ishmael's face. Maybe I saw unrestrained joy, the joy of finding something she's been searching for so long. Such an overwhelming, all-consuming happiness that her facial muscles began to twitch on their own. Maybe I saw extreme fear, the fear in the face of destiny, unavoidable horror. The lake's splashing water hits her trembling face and rolled down her cheeks. Or maybe she was sweating from dread. Ishmael, do you have any information to share with us? Yeah. Here. I know what to do from here. I know exactly what to do. Otis, I can clearly see what's in front of us from back here. Tell me precisely what you see. Their numbers, their sizes, all of it. Trying to avoid wild currents and find a safe path around the rocks? Fine, understood. Otis nodded emphatically before rising from her seat to gaze at the path ahead. She balanced herself as the ship rocked. About 350 meters ahead, minusculous, plain pattern, glistening rock. About 500 meters ahead of that is a medium-sized rock. It has bumps on top of it and stands out. Continue. And not so far ahead from there is a large island with rough, porous surface. Oh, upon closer inspection, it's like an archipelago of 4 similar islands. Good. Ishmael began fiddling with the steering gear and the engine output lever as though something had clicked in her mind. Good, we've made it past the first rock. Its texture was a bit different from that of a normal rock, wasn't it? Gee, that's not the texture of a rock, or even soil. We just passed the second one. Oh, what's so weird about the texture? I can't see over the big boy or the long one. That there. It's a living, breathing thing. What? Wait, Swabby! Watch where you're steering the ship! We're about to crash into the third rock at this rate! And that is what I'm going to do, Otis. That is where we go off. What? That rock? That creepy, porous rock over there? Oi, feel free to crash into a rock on your free time, but don't take all of us with you. There's not even a single tree up there, let alone a person. What the bloody hell are you even anchoring there for? You gotta screw your head on in a different direction in the Great Lake, Heathcliff. What are you even talking about? A loud shock and an ear-splitting sound of the skiff scratching and sliding against something cut Heathcliff off. Do you even know where you're going, woman? Oh yes, she knows. It's just crashing right into that. Wait, that white color? Ishmael? Yeah, those aren't islands or rocks. What we thought were islands suddenly rumbled, vibrating as ground tremor from an earthquake. They are all part of a whale. A colossal creature shudders as it wakes from its long slumber. What are you doing? And of course this picture has to show again. Of course, makes sense. Oh, does she really want to rip them apart? Like, what is that? What the actual... The Pallid Blue Mermaid. Okay. Another upgraded version of them, I see. They still apply sinking though, so that's good. On Clash Win, deal 1 SP damage to target for each surviving palified ally, not counting this one. On hit, heal HP, gain the copy buff, attack buff, phase protection, and the other stuff. Okay, it seems to be the same as before though. They still gain offensive level, defensive level for every palified ally. They still apply palified noise after exploding themselves. And those guys prevent us from having more than 20 SP, otherwise they're going to attack it with 1 damage each. Okay. And all of them come with the same effect, which means 3, 6, 9, 12. 12 damage once we go up to 20 SP. Unfortunate, but it could be worse. Heathcliff. Kinda want you to take that one. It doesn't give us Palify, so that's gonna be good. How many waves? Only 2, okay, I was about to say. I wasn't quite sure about that one. I do need a tremor count again, and I guess a little bit of rapture wouldn't hurt to have. There we go, Heathcliff! Tail! Off! Shoot. It started great! It started great! And then of course he had to roll another hit. He always rolls the hit. Okay, at the very least it seems like they aren't really that strong. But then again, all things considered, we did level them up quite a bit. Those guys are only 37. We're already over leveled. But it's fine, right? It's fine. After all the struggles in the previous 2 parts, I guess it's kind of fair that we have a little bit of an easier time now. At least a little bit. A little bit doesn't hurt. I do need the last skill, but I might need it in the next round. Green. And we need the envy. We certainly need the envy. I need the envy cards in order to start training this SP. By the way, that reminds me, I was supposed to change his thing's ego as well. Not ego, ID as well. After all, he boosts up our sanity a little, and that's something we don't really need at this point of time. We're going to get the talisman from this one. That's fine. You're probably not able to attack me at all, seeing how the others are already clashing against you. Double red. Bit more tremor count, and more light blue, please. We can always need more light blue. There you go. Come on, Don. Don't lose against that guy now. Right? It's just another mermaid. You already killed so many mermaids before. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Second round. Still the same guy? Oh god, that guy is bigger. Why is he bigger? Name is the same. Palette Blue Mermaids. Palette and Blue Mermaids. Not entirely sure if that end is going to make such a big difference, but it seems like he still uses the same ability as before. Passive seem to be the same as well. Can't quite tell why he is bigger, except of maybe the fact that he has more HP, but other than that, pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. Barely have sanity. That's not good. That's not really that good. What's my Faust? Faust, you might want to increase that a little. It's winnable. Sanity is on -1. I'm going to tank that hit. Increase the sanity a little bit. Hit everyone with a 17. And whoever gets hit by this is going to gain some talismans. Right, Sinclair? They are going to get some rapture for free. And I hope they're going to enjoy it. And if everything goes according to plan, then our Otis is going to have a chance to shoot them away as well. If she is able to clash against everyone. Oh, it doesn't really seem to be going that well for my Otis. I mean, she was able to gain up to 32 sanity. Still, she lost a couple of her coins. That's not really that good. Huh. Nevertheless, I should be able to shoot away now. go for red. Strong enough. The bullet is good enough. Anything else? I don't really need to go for the strong move against Hill. Yeah, and this round we should be able to take care of all of them. Technically speaking, we should be able to take care of all of them, but then again, they do always harm our SP a little. Shooting our bullets is going to be a bit more difficult in this environment. That's also the reason why she's down to 33% again, even though we just maxed it out in the last round. Kind of wish they would also harm our heat a little. He would actually appreciate all those debuffs, right? He would love them. But sadly, they never give him a chance. Can I shoot? I think I should be able to shoot. Well, let's just shoot. 30 is a bit stronger. 6. You're going to lose some sanity, which is good. And I'm pretty sure you're not able to survive this. You're about to get to stagger, and then after that, I'm pretty sure we're not even going to see any of our other sinners attack that guy. Yeah, 64. He's so dead. He was so dead. Okay. That was fine. But then again, it was only 2 waves. If it was 3 waves, that could have been a bit more tricky. But lucky for us, it was only 2. And we got a couple of the scabat thingies. 40 in total. Great. Now then. Is that already the pallid whale? Huh, okay. What we thought to be a rock was a porous whale. When its mermaid crawled out of the hole, we defeated them. But this isn't the whale we are looking for, is it? What is Ishmael thinking? I could tell from the look on Heathcliff's face that I wasn't the only one wondering about that. Are we picking a fight with a whale that isn't our target? Seriously? Okay. Wait a second, I first need to grab another umbrella guy. And I'm gonna change to... Okay, Yiseng. You will no longer recover any SP for us. Umbrella guy's ready. I think Rodion also had some kind of Kumukura and maybe Blade Lineage one, right? A shame that I wasn't able to get her. A shame. Really a shame. But then again, wait, I think Yiseng also had one. And I didn't have him either. Oh my god, the big guy right from the start. Okay, but seeing how those are literally a repeat, I guess from here we're just going to skip ahead a little. And defeat it. So... Right, I get it. I get it now. All these rocks were actually whales, huh? And I get that the mermaids pop out of these pores. But I think it's a loony thing that why are we even drawing their ire, huh? We could have just gone around them, okay? True. Looking to let some steam off, huh? Hankering for a game of whack-a-mole all of a sudden. Is that it? Of course not. This is just the only method that I know. Huh? You better be ready to explain what you're talking about. Heathcliff furiously wasn't the only sinner looking at Ishmael with expectant eyes. There were Otis and the other sinners who all looked at her for some answers, because this is just reckless. Ishmael. And I was too, of course. I also didn't think I'd actually be doing this. Well, so there's this legend, like tale. A legend? Each lake of the Great Lake has its own culture, with many wandering and choosing to call those places their homes. So naturally, there are also many tales as there are lakes. But there's that one tale of a certain lake that is passed down orally from sailor to sailor, just like the legend of old. The legend of the gloomy grey lake of waffling and rumbling. Sailors sang the legend of that lake, passing it down for years upon years. Doom, and hey thy whale path to misty sea. Begloom, and let whale draw their pearls in search of pallid dew. Tom shall be thy misty path, heeding the weeping whale. Weeping whale? Whatever does that mean? It's simple. Hit the porous whale to wake them, draw out and hunt the mermaids, and the path to the pallid whale should clear the mist. Do you really believe that? You expect us to just believe that hogwash? Blimey, I didn't think I'd ever get to say these words before my deathbed. But, are you stupid? Listen, what does waking the whale up have anything to do with getting rid of that thick fog? It's got to make even a little bit of sense, no? Heathcliff discussing the correlation between actions and consequences. This truly is a rare experience indeed. Wow, shut up, smartass. I'm serious about this. And you think the law that sent waivers after us, if we don't cross the border at the exact right moment, makes sense? Yeah, and how they can sense if we break any of the laws and instantly attack us with thunders and waves? You think the law that makes us go in circle before reaching our destination, the law that doesn't let us go back the way we came from, make any sense? I've been telling you this whole time, common sense has no place in the Great Lake. That's just the way this place works, okay? You just have to accept that. Fine, I give you that. But they are like the laws of the city, right? As outlandish as they are still strict laws that can be calculated into those variable coordinations or whatever, right? What you're blabbering here is some vague old song. Am I supposed to believe something so absurd? Yes, because I've seen it myself. Oh. Years ago, when a young, stupid, but motivated sailor boarded the ship, she had the most unfortunate opportunity of witnessing this very legend with her own eyes. Because that is how she saw the pallid whale. Heathcliff felt silent, scratching his head. The rest of the sinner also nodded and began whispering. I really don't like you. Took the words right out of my mouth. I don't like any of this. But I know that you're not the kind of lass to lie or tell tall tales just to get the upper hand in this petty quarrel. Sure. Fine. Let's go all the way to the end then. I keep whacking those molds like things with this club. I can also accept your explanation. But from now on, I would appreciate it if you could share your knowledge with us first before doing something like this. I'll try. In a way, I'm relieved that we now have a definite path forward. Yeah, well, let's go find our next whale then, huh? Yes, Executive Manager. All aboard, man! Truly, the ocean's mist is splitting, as though a blade had dwarfed it in half. Once we eliminated the mermaids of the last whale, singled out by Ishmael, the fog slowly began to fade. Behind it was a different lake, beyond the grey sea. Finally. Is that where we're supposed to find the actual whale? The Calamity Whale? But those guys also have shared the same name though. Are they something like children to that thing? I mean, it is a whale, it is an animal. It should be able to reproduce. Is that teeth? Is that an eye? No, right? Maybe? Wait a second, that looks like a gigantic open mouth. Ah! Yeah, that's fine. That's gonna be fine. There's nothing waiting for us. The pallid whale too. We waded past the ocean's mist and entered the obsidian lake, the lake of legends, as told by Ishmael. Within it was the pallid whale, pale as the as the midnight moon. Okay, let's just go in there. It's not going to end well. I already saw a gigantic open mouth. The weather there is actually quite hostile, huh? Miss Salt was right. The lake beyond the border was nigh pitch black. The waves crested tall, rising and crashing violently under the thundering rainstorm. Ugh, the wild wind has begun to sway the boat. Yiseng's face was starting to grow pale as well. Oh no. Did we at least bring some medicine for him? He's not able to endure that. I'm starting to wonder if we can really do this. Did we ever let it stop us from trying? I guess that's true. Alright, heading into the zone. Are there any laws of that lake that we must be mindful of? I don't know the laws of that lake, nor its waves. I remember the way the fog split open. I remember the obsidian sea and the endless tempest. But the rest of it, all I remember is that the captain was excitingly delivering a speech at witnessing the legend come to life, and that we were all busy preparing for a whale hunt. So, what awaits us ahead is a real adventure. We'll be sailing blindly into the night. Then we'll have to face everything head on from here on. Yes, if the whale comes to claim us, we will face them head on. Even the whale. No sign of that whale yet, though. Back then, it attacked us mere minutes after we entered the lake. Everyone was as tense as they could be here, looking around nervously. Wait, what's that? There's something there. Something tall. A close approach is recommended. I have a source of light to improve our visibility. Okay. Mersault got up with a lantern and pointing a light towards where Sinclair indicates. There's several of them. What's that? Hell, who would put them there? What are they even there for? Maybe they're like lighthouses? Lighthouses? Yeah, I kinda see that, but... Do you remember seeing anything like that, Ishmael? No. I don't even have a hazy recollection of it. I've never seen it before in my... Oh! The thieves! The thieves! It's the thieves! Guys! It has to be the thieves! Not go in there! Ishmael, has the nausea of the swaying sea gotten to you as well? Your face has grown rather pale. I knew that can't be true. A seasick sailor only exists in jokes. Besides, Ishmael was doing just fine moments ago. Then she must have made a sudden realization. I see. So that is why it looks like that. Even a small part of it is a terrifying realization. What is it? You'll find out soon enough, even if you don't want to. There are rough waves ahead. All hand braced. Grab onto whatever you can. Before we even had a chance to say anything, a leviathan of a wave rose to its crest and crashed onto us from above and sucked us deep into the sea before throwing us back to the surface. Whoa! We were lucky. There was a high chance that the following vortex would have dragged the vessel deep underwater. Lucky? You saw what was down there. That was... Is everyone okay? Everyone was soaked wet, nearly hyperventilating, but mostly awestruck by what we've just witnessed. We have everyone, but... what we just saw down there weren't lighthouses. They were tails of colossal whales. Wow, okay, I really want to give up now. I want to go back to the time when I didn't know that the whale really looked like, and... So this is the lake where the whales come to sleep. Yeah, if they're deep in the water with their neck bent like that, I could see their tails rising tall over the surface. But there's no way they missed this commotion. The ship, we're keeling over! The whale are waking up. We're finally here. I think that is what Ishmael whispered, but the storm, the waves buried her voice deep into the lake. If the Indigo Elder made it here as we planned... Whoa! Over yonder! Is that a whale? We didn't have to wonder even for a second about what Don was screaming at. An entire herd of entities, each drafting every single wave we've weathered throughout this journey, emerged from the water all at once. In unison, they began migrating into a singular direction. To witness something like that was enough to make even my soul gape with a plain bewilderment. Looks like things are going according to plan, huh? Then we'll have to do our part. There! There! There was a whale that stood out even among the herd of inevitable immense whales. Pallid as the pale dead, its hide thick with scarred tissue. That one is particularly scarred. I found it! Yes, he was right! That wound, the scars the Paquid made, they are all still there. Oh, and the Indigo guy is right here. There you go!
I assume you have finally located a whale.
I believe so, yes.
As always, the chance of success must be minuscule.
Indeed it is. OARSMEN! Ishmael thundered. Ishmael? No, louder than the thunder itself, as though her personality itself had suddenly shifted. Her voice seemed to overwhelm the very storm itself. Answer, you dog! OARSMEN! OARSMEN? I? Set route to the pallet thing! Full speed ahead! Row! Full speed ahead! Okay! Even Otis was swept up in this sudden turn of event, repeating after Ishmael's beloved commands. Is this what Ishmael was like when she sailed the lakes? Or... or is this the captain? I see light. It's the Indigo Elder! The old man in his skiff was sliding across the water towards the whale. Listen well. The rest of the awakened whale have gone after the bait I've laid for them. Then the plan worked. Now, Ew. Okay, it wasn't clear whether it was the thunder or the old man below that awakened the pallid whale. Its eyelids begin to lift. It's been so long since I witnessed anything like this up close. It was an eye of astronomical proportion, so immense that it no longer resembled an eye at all, but a reflection and mirror of the world. Oh, how I wish to see you eye to eye. The old man, harpoon in hand, drew closer to the whale with a grim, stony expression. Ishmael also aimed her harpoon at the great whale, her face nearly tearing with uncontainable joy. Some sinner trembled with fear, while others prepared themselves. All of it, the world, contained in the single reflecting eye that stretches even beyond our parallel vision. Now, here's your bait fish. Bite on it. I know you have no other choice. Biting, devouring all you've ever known. OARSMEN! Split the sea with your oars! What is oars? I respect you, pallid whale. I respect that you have lived years in numbers that I cannot even begin to imagine. I respect that you hail from a place beyond my key. But I will take this chance to stand before you, to challenge you, and with this challenge to the edge of understanding, I will row. Did he hit it? The giant harpoon soared across the black sky, like a bolt of lava, and strikes the pallid whale. That was our chance. Row on! Row on! Ishmael rose tall and alone, looking straight out beyond the speeding boat, swaying bow, harpoon in her hands. I've been thinking, ever since then, about what feeling you might dig up from my heart if I saw you ever again. But this feeling is much more straightforward than I expected. Nice meeting you again, you fucking whale! Oh, do you recognize her? I hope you do. Oh, that must have hurt. Compared to the old man's harpoon, the harpoon Ishmael hurled was like a needle. But once struck, as though its body was wrecked by an immense, unbearable pain, the pallid veil's maw opened, and the air itself began to vibrate. Oh, great! The maw opens! Go! I will now fish this beast! Every sinner heard the old man's voice. Every sinner began rowing with all their might. Why? In desperation, as though death itself was in our pursuit. As though it was our fate, our destiny to roll. We were sucked into an endless abyss. And a rapid vortex pulled us into the maw of the beast. Tenebra as well under the moonless sky. It was a deep noise. And like a droplet in the sea, we melted into the fathomless darkness.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. How goes the plan? Acknowledged. Hey! Looks like the radio broke for good. Worrying.